spin around the block. But they're absolutely right. The deck is stacked against you. You got your work cut out against you.
Well, let's see how they do here in the beginning of Game 1 on DFH. A best of 5, and G2 begins on offense. Roldiz falls back. Rizzo's got this one set up for JNaps uncontested onto the ceiling. Looks for a second touch, and Ajax has got it away from him this time. Birds now, moving down the field. Chicago, zone back third, to flip past one challenge-ish, neutral-ish challenge there in the corner. And now a full press here from G2. They make it up across midfield. Rizzo alone in the back here. Tries to slow play this one, but Hawksher gets it past him. Now the pass back out on the rotational defense. Rizzo's got it one again in the midfield. Rolled his airborne shot towards the net, will be very wide. Rizzo, again, doing lots of work in this corner right now. Can't seem to get it out.
Well, that again is exactly going to be the key to success for the Birds, if you ask me.
Oh!
And they'll get a chance at it
What?
because
JNaps?
JNaps has no boost stuck in the net. Chicago, weak clear for one. JNaps has to dodge a demo and then dings off the bar.
JNaps hits the crossbar.
Take it all back. He had all the boost in the world. He just
So
misplayed
much
it. You hate to see it.
What are you doing, JNaps? Okay, Birds taking the first goal. They'll say, thank you very much. Appreciate you leaving it open for us. And a nice play as well. Not an easy goal to hit.
That's a classic. We take those.
Yep. And now G2 down by 1. See how they do. Roldiz in the corner. I also got to give Birds props for how long they kept the ball trapped in the corner there. Rizzo kept trying to do this kind of small single-man rotation, and they kept saying, nope, back in. You got to play it again. You got to play it again. As Hawksher sends a careener from midfield. And now Rizzo with a long field counter clear. Roldiz in the corner, gets pinched off by Chicago. This one lofted high. Ajax, not the best flight. Rizzo will bounce it off him and back over to the side. Chicago will be looking to set up JNaps here. So he's back up on the wall once more. The ball is going to outdistance both Chicago and JNaps. And he'll look to put it back into midfield again. Ball just going corner to corner here in Birds territory. JNaps now a shot. This one very high. The best opportunity they've had to shoot yet.
Great presence of mind from Ajax as well. Not to panic, just let that one bounce off the wall under no pressure. But it really is going to be, Chicago, that first line of defense in the midfield whenever G2 gets on offense. And then after that, you're going to have to contend with Rizzo waiting on the line most often.
Boxer looks for another goal. This one sent away. Rizzo now advancing, leaves it actually, unless Roldiz hit it. Who gets it past 2? Now Chicago alone. He'll be able to slam it. Get it away as nobody else was nearby. Now Hawksher has the flip reset. It's too low and won't be able to use it. Rizzo back away. Ajax has him red. JNaps up onto the wall. Back into this corner again. The corner of death as they bump another one, and Roldiz gets the second goal.
Okay, so both goals now. The results of just substandard clearing. I mean, to be fair, not like JNaps can really do anything about that. He just doesn't want the ball to bounce off his backboard and have Chicago have to potentially lose a challenge right in front of net. So he's just poking it out into space. Not a bad play. Well, that's just the Birds making a great bump effort.
They're good, the brilliant presence of mind is they'll get a third one off the kickoff. G2 completely out of sorts right now, and Birds are happy to punish.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say about that either. It's just both teams follow up on the kickoff. And Ajax is the beneficiary because it goes his way. Next question.
Did love the bump attempt 2 goals ago. Quality effort to create that opportunity, and now G2. They've got a few games to sort themselves out here, but right now it's just been all the Birds as they find one from midfield. A net left wide open, and a symptom of, hey, we're getting a lot of leads. Maybe get a little bit lax on the defense. Not a good thing to do, and Rizzo will happily put it all the way back in. Roldiz moving out way too quickly.
Exactly. It really was just Roldiz getting not fully understanding how close to the ball Rizzo was there. He had him well and truly beat, and he was just kind of following that ball side to side, and then realized a little too late he gave up a goal.
G2. JNaps with another shot from midfield. This one a bit wide. Ajax nearly scores it himself, and Chicago will punish. Puts it up to just a 1-goal lead. What a firecracker of a match we've got. 5 goals in 3 minutes.
This is destruction. That missed ball in the midfield by the Birds means JNaps gets a free transition back the other way, and it's a scramble back onto the defense for the Birds, and they just can't deal with the pressure, and it's turned into a nightmare. You're feeling great. You started off 3-0, and boom, boom, back to back, and you're right back in the thick of it.
Lots of scoring on mistakes as another goal opportunity came through, but JNaps able to shut it down on the goal line. And now has this ball all the way back to the Birds' corner. Ajax to midfield. Rizzo popping it over one. Chicago on the far side. He's got Rizzo in tow and JNaps in front. Nice passing options, but broken up by Hawkster. Now the pass back in. Chicago will put it in. A nice worm burner to tie the game.
And this is that great vision that G2 is so good at on offense. Not a bad clear from Hawkster. Just takes a favorable skip for Rizzo on the nice read, and perfect placement from Chicago, getting that corner of the dominance, that far corner, so he pushes it out to the right side away from the defense. Just that ball so quick, left to right, and hang.
The diversion of attention, JNaps rotating back. It looks like JNaps is going to be the one to play that ball, so they're not even looking at Rizzo, and then the play happens too quickly to stop. And now a tie game for G2 as they figure themselves out pretty quickly. A few mistakes from the Birds helping out as well. Bench from Chicago, not great, but JNaps able to close the gap pretty quickly there. That ball's on target, and Ajax will carry it off the backboard and away. A bump, Chicago will put it onto the backboard again. Now Rold is trying to get it past JNaps, but he adjusts too quickly. Now Ajax through one. Hawkster up, beats Rizzo. Now it's JNaps alone in the back as his teammates rotate in. He gets a nice clean one. A double commit on offense from G2, but they keep the pressure on. Ajax across. Chicago rotating for boost. It'll be Roldez who picks this up, and Rizzo puts it back in the midfield. Hawkster under one. Can he get it past two? It's onto the backboard, but Rizzo's there first. And G2 able to dodge that bullet.
And G2 were taking some aggressive challenges there as well, cutting across each other, and even the third man on their own half, willing to make a more aggressive challenge instead of wait for their teammates to be in a better defensive position.
Chicago.
Big risk.
Too high. 30 seconds left. Defense not in a great position. Hawkster's able to recover. And now out to Ajax. Nobody home on defense. Can he beat Rizzo as he moves in? Tries to go for the roll play. Not going to work. Now here's Hawkster with an opportunity. Cleared again on the backboard. Rolled is onto the side wall for the last attempt. And Rizzo will push it nice and high. Ajax tries to stall it at midfield, but this will be a G2 ball as JNaps able to keep it at midfield. Rolled is one last attempt here as they are able to gain control in midfield again. Final 5 seconds. All tied up in game one. Rizzo on the back wall, keeping it high and away. Ajax towards the backboard once more. He's got some boost, but JNaps with a nice long clear. This one should end the game. Hawkster will back off, yes. Overtime, 2 game ones in a row.
All right, Birds. You've managed to throw the 3-goal lead, but you're not done yet. Here's a chance to really set the tone for how you guys approach the season. Big win here. Feels great.
Rolled his past one. Over to Ajax. JNaps in the way. Keeps the pressure on this corner they've loved so much. Here's Hawkster once more. Back across the other player. The last man not in position for the pass.
And Hawkster, he had the far right side of the net. G2, again, we're following that ball left to right, and Rold is trying to go to the far post.
Now up high, Rizzo. For the Birds corner, Hawkster. The power hit. Back across the field. JNaps looks for Chicago. Rizzo will break up more passes here. Now back down onto his own hood. Takes the shot. It's just wide. Hawkster off the post there. The defense all out of position, but nobody's got control. It's now a race to midfield. Rolled is through 2. 1 defender there. Can he find Ajax? He looks for the play by himself. 2 defenders commit, and the ball was just sitting there, but Rizzo has it first. And now the air carry. So much boost to work with. Off the backboard one more time. JNaps in towards the box and high. Ajax will send it off to the side, and the Birds dodge a bullet.
It's a nice job from Rizzo, and actually JNaps has Ajax beat to this ball. Can he get it off the ceiling? Oh my goodness! I wanted him to hit that so bad. It would have been so pretty.
He thought about it. Now Ajax back out. Hawkster versus Chicago in the midfield. Rizzo's got to fall back quickly. JNaps up first. Lots of lateral play here from both sides. No team really gaining control at the moment. So 1 minute and 30 have expired in overtime. Still tied up at 3 apiece. Hawkster punts this out of his corner. JNaps is up. Chicago looks for interference. Nothing's there, and Roldez clears it off the backboard. Back in midfield. Hawkster with control. 2 defenders in front. Beats Chicago. Now he's got to beat Rizzo. Fakes him out. Goes for the shot himself. He got all 3 of them. Hawkster, welcome to RLCS as he gets game 1.
And that's, you know, it got scary when there was too much space allowed in the midfield, and that's that classic aggression G2's been showing all game. They'll go for the hard challenges, and then that was just Hawkster calling him on it. He says, yeah, I know you're going to bite. And just let him go right by. Beautiful dribble from Hawkster to close out game 1.
What a play. What an astounding play. And the Birds were going for so many solo plays there, especially in overtime. I feel like, which is a strategy in overtime, right? The solo plays require 1 player. That means the other 2 can be back on defense, which is the one thing everybody's always worried about in overtime is, oh, I don't want to just too much commit our team up and then leave the goal open. But it seemed like G2 just had him every time. They're like, what are you doing? You can't dribble me, man. Hawkster's like, no, just give me one more chance, folks. Dribbles 2 of them. Manages to put the shot and bait in the last defender, too. What a play. Well done.
Beautiful execution, indeed, from Hoxer. That is a quality start to the season.
That was good. It gives me Farah vibes.
Ooh, yeah.
From back against Flipside.
From Flipside,
back during that 1 week when Farah was a girl, before we learned Gibbs was wrong about one thing ever. So, game 1 going to Birds' side here. G2 will now need to bounce back, and a lot of people out not counting on the Birds here in our first matchup, the desk as well. They prove them wrong there in game 1. We'll see if they can hold it up for 2 more games.
Yeah, but at the same time, I really don't think G2 is going to give up a 3-goal lead to start off a game ever again.
Yeah, but they never had the lead in that game. You know,
that is true.
They managed to get the 3 goals back, and there was mistakes on both sides. So
very true.
I'm interested to see how this goes. Game 2 is going to be really interesting to see if G2 makes any adjustments. Do they strengthen up their things? I'm interested to see how they play that corner again, because that one corner, just for some reason, their left-hand corner, bugging them a lot. They just could not seem to find the solid clears to get it back to midfield there.
Well, let's find out. Stronger clears from G2 perhaps leads to success, or Ajax to kick it off. Actually, it'll be Roldiz, and that is one that needs to be in the net.
He had an opportunity, not quite able to find the shot. Hoxer pass 2. Chicago on his backboard. Keeps it away. Ajax demolished in the midfield, but Roldiz will hold on to it, give his teammate time to respawn, get back up on offense, and man, great boost conservation there. He's going to stop after a long stall. Still had 20 in the tank as he hit the ground. Now Rizzo up, Chicago. Nice extension. Ajax back towards the side. JNaps puts it back into the box. It's back and forth. Here's one shot from JNaps. A nice target placement. Difficult shot to hit, and nails it.
No chance. That's just such a hard read for Roldiz here in the net. JNaps is coming at this ball from the opposite side. So 99% of the time, that ball gets poked into the corner.
Yeah.
And he just rips it into the top left of the net.
Super difficult shot.
I mean, how do you save that?
On a very fast pass as well. It is definitely a sit and watch and hope he misses sort of defensive strategy. Hawks are not going to get control of this one. Chicago clang it off the wall. Back into the midfield. Here's Rizzo with a pass back. Chicago will look to set him up one more time, but gets tackled. 4 minutes left. G2 does have a lead for the first time in the series. Now past 1. Hawks are trying to get it past 2. The wall defense will hold. JNaps up to create interference. Rizzo crowded him, but now Chicago out to JNaps looking for one more shot. No contact.
Took a favorable skip, too. Pulled out 2 defenders for the Birds, which means G2 get a second chance to stay on offense here.
Hawks are advancing. JNaps has him beat cleanly. Roldiz will take it away from Chicago, who was flying for it, but now JNaps on the wall once more. Rizzo's up to create a threat, try and get it out. Nice pass here. Chicago tries to beat Hoxer, but he creates enough interference that the shot's no good. Now Rizzo, one more attempt in. JNaps sitting in the midfield. A shot from Chicago. The block from Roldiz is good. JNaps will beat the corner again. G2's putting the pressure on, but the Birds are holding on.
And G2 really making sure they control both of those midfield boosts for refusing to allow them anything. And Rizzo clangs the double tap. Beautiful shot.
Oh, the moment they have no one on the backboard, Rizzo's like, cool, free goal, let's go. Off the backboard, beautiful placement, such power on it. Not going to be blocked in any world. 2-0 now for G2, 3:09 left to go in game 2.
I was really just making sure, hold on to the resources in the midfield. Don't ever allow Birds and Bees to have an advantage and no space. And actually, a wide open goal, Rizzo will turn in 2 in a row.
An early demolition onto JNaps you think would create some space for the Birds to advance,
Ajax.
But where is their third man? Nobody to be found, maybe expecting a pass on the far side, and such a win from Rizzo to get that goal.
Well, the third man was right behind Ajax. He was rotating in a net. He just needed the briefest of moments to make it further back into the net. Ajax just didn't make any contact with that ball on the challenge.
Ajax puts this high. Now Roldiz with a shot, is blocked from Chicago is the Birds. Advancing on offense, AJ with another opportunity onto the backboard. Nobody's home, looks for the bump on the goalie, but Hoxer doesn't find the shot. Follow-up just not quite there. The setup was great, though.
Yeah, Hoxer had everyone beat, could pick a spot in the net to shoot it from, but made the wrong read. Didn't have the understanding of the trajectory, but gets the pass out of the corner, and Roldiz will get him within 2.
What is it with this corner? The Birds just have their number here. Past 1 and then past 2. Great setup from Hoxer, and Roldiz able to win the challenge against Rizzo. Pushes it through.
The fact Rizzo even got a touch on that ball after getting bumped is just nuts. It didn't matter, but I don't even... In what world do you actually make it back to that ball in the first place?
Yeah, he's very good at this video game. Here at halftime, G2 here in game 2 was able to build a 3-goal lead. After Birds' 3-goal lead in game number 1, some bumps on the defense opens up a little bit of space, but Roldis keeps his wits about him, but opens it up. Nobody's home again. They keep leaving the net open, and Rizzo continues to punish. Yeah,
Roldis was looking for help here. Hoxer got pushed off it, which forces Roldis to go for the secondary challenge, and he's expecting this weak touch into the middle, be like, all right, someone's going to be coming out of net just to launch that up the pitch, but unfortunately, that first touch just, it was too close. G2 is willing to put too many resources into the middle for that one.
2:07 left to go. Another 3-goal lead for G2.
Hat trick for Rizzo. Playmaker for Chicago.
Rizzo passed one. Gets pit maneuvered off the ball, but manages to stay with it. Give it to Chicago, who kind of gets pool shot into it. Roldis has to make the save. Now Hoxer trying to flick it. JNaps waits him out. Wins another challenge against Roldis. Now it's a 1v1. Rizzo against one. He beats him. Got the Hoxer beat as well, but Hoxer able to kind of slow down, get back behind that ball, make the save, and now the play, a great shot. JNaps has the save as Rizzo tries to rotate in. Chicago actually picks this one up. Such crazy role changes there as this team is playing so fast.
To be fair, I am actually not the biggest fan of how G2 is communicating on defense. They have a lot of double commits. Any balls that come across them, if someone's in the net and someone's coming out of the corner, so often they've had 2 people going for it. And that's just surprising to see out of a team like G2, who's been around for so long with each other and has such a firm grasp of how they all play.
Oh, the pass. JNaps is there. Chicago looks for it, but the defense holds. Now Rizzo trying to get it past Hoxer. He had him red. Now Chicago back into JNaps. Open, net to shoot at, and he'll score. Not open necessarily, but so much room for a man as good as JNaps.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you say, not a lot of room to work with, but there is definitely a hole on the far side of the net, and JNaps, he's good enough that he will find it. Great pass from Chicago as well. That ball smashed off the corner, away from the defense, out towards the middle.
Up by 4 with a minute left. This one all but over. G2 going to equalize the series, guaranteed at least game 4. Chicago over to the side. Rizzo will find the clear down. And any large changes from games 1 to games 2 that you've noticed here from G2?
Well, for one, the pressure on offense has worked out much better. They really have not allowed the Birds pretty much any space to work with and get a consistent pressing offensive drive going. Even the goal that they scored, they caught G2 on a bit of a counterattack. So it's really just been G2, much better command of the boost. And I have to say, the challenges have looked better from G2, just overall. The approach to the ball has been better. The contact has been stronger, which has just led to more pressure in general.
Well, the thing I've been the most impressed with is this ball should touch the ground there, and that'll be game 2 in the books, 5-1 in favor of our grand final runner-ups. The best showings from North America in a while. But one of the things I was most impressed with, I think, is just overall positioning. Even in situations where they are kind of making a double commit in goal, you have someone coming off the backboard, someone screaming in from the corner to try and block it. The third man is in such an interesting position to where they can they can still pick up control. And then on offense too, I mean, just like JNaps is flying in there knowing Chicago's going to find him somehow. A fantastic play sees them up by 4 at the end of regulation in game 2. Moving on to game 3. Birds got their work cut out for them here. The mistakes that we're seeing them get the early lead in game 1 seem to have been figured out, so now they're going to have to find a new game plan.
And what really leads G2 to being in position so often the time is because they all understand if they make a call, like say, let's take that last goal for instance, Chicago with the bounce off the corner. Chicago's approaching that ball, he says, it's going mid. So JNaps is thinking, okay, so he'll push forward so he can be ready for as soon as that ball goes out there. And the cool thing about it is JNaps has been around so long, he can see Chicago's approach to that ball, and he goes, all right, it's not like he's going to roll it around the corner. He's going to smash it off the corner. It's going to bounce mid. So all of the info JNaps has is ball's coming mid, and it's on JNaps to be smart enough to interpret how Chicago is going to do that. Because, you know, Rocket League is a game for improvisers, so to say. So you take what you're given, and Chicago and JNaps, that's what's turned them into one of the strongest two-player offensive duos in North America. Is they're both quality players. They both read the game very well.
Yeah, they have been absolutely lights out for the past few years. We'll see now, can they close out this series? Do Birds find a way back in? It's a neutral challenge in the midfield. ultimately be won by JNaps, who wins another one in the corner. Roldiz with space. Will use all of his boost extended into the corner, and a nice shot from Hoxer, just a little bit high. I like the play idea. As Rizzo beats one, Roldiz is going all the way back to goal. Can he find the stop here? He does. Gets in the way of Rizzo, but the follow from JNaps nice and soft. Here comes Chicago. Roldiz will manage to scoop it up, push it away, but the pressure's still on from G2.
And pressure continues to build, and now here's where it lost the game last time. G2 controlling so many of the boost pads that are critical, and smashed into the top right Chicago. It wasn't really the most well-placed ball, but still fast enough to beat the man on the line.
Yeah, Roldiz kind of pushes it into the midfield, and his teammates are not ready for it. Right now, that is by far the most deadly spot for the Birds defense.
And that all happened because, you know, G2, they got that quick counterattack. And while the Birds held off the first approach on offense, they unfortunately didn't have enough time to go get resources and really get set on defense to be ready for the pressure G2 was throwing at them.
JNaps over to the side.
And another miss allows G2 just a free transition onto offense. They got to make contact.
This ball's loose off the backboard. Ajax will follow it to not give any free aerial shots. Rizzo's just keeping this one off to the side. Rolled his challenges, but this one actually pinches in kind of a favorable position. Hoxer manages to get there first, and now back into G2 territory. Great pass again. It's playing so well out of the corner. There's a lot of open net here, but Roldiz will get it away, and Rizzo able to get in front of it. Back onto offense now. G2 pressuring, looking for a second goal as they get it loose off the back wall. JNaps is up, sends the shot. Hoxer's got it and sends it away.
Trying to recreate that goal from last game, coming from the opposite side of the ball, placed it in the top left corner. Almost got it again, but transition for G2.
Oh, what a touch. Is this good? No. Okay, Ajax does get back in time. That was a dirty midfield touch. Chicago nearly made good on it. Ajax has two beat. Chicago alone back here. He's just getting challenged by two. Doesn't make contact. Roldiz is here. Can he make the shot? JNaps is there. The shot just not strong enough. JNaps has just the split second he needs to read it, and they keep their 1-0 lead.
And he shot it right into the middle of the net. He had the entire right-hand side, and that's the difference. You have a player like JNaps, we talked about it last game. There's a small gap. It's to the far post, and he nailed it. And the difference there is he had a small gap to the right side of the net, and he put it into the middle, and it got saved. That's the difference between a top team like G2 and the new kids on the block.
For Chicago, upper 90, shot placement, demonstrated again.
Just a great shot from Rizzo, forcing out the defender, and Hoxer just doesn't make the best read on the ball, takes a bit of an awkward approach, tries to get right in front of it, and you're absolutely right. Chicago drilled that into the top right.
Such a pretty shot from Chicago, too. The initial departure off the ground, having to rotate around, kind of makes it look like it's got a freestyle element to it, but all on purpose, all with intentionality.
And so you really fine-tune your contact point. You're looking for angles, the strongest parts of your car, and Chicago with the twist, little dish to Chicago. He was just a smidge too close. If he was coming a little further away, he puts that in.
No, the setup from JNaps, basically perfect, all the way from midfield in. As they got it past two now. Back over to JNaps, scoops this up. Looks to hold on to it, baits some players in. He's got two pass. Can he pass it to Rizzo? It's in front of the box. Rizzo shot just a bit wide. The goalie's not really in a great position, and that'll be Chicago with a third goal here. 2 minutes left to go in game 3.
Just tying them up. JNaps wins the ball into the middle, and Rizzo would like a second chance at that, but Hoxer and Roldiz, they both rotate towards the same side of the net, and to be fair, the guy rotating into the net second, it's natural instinct to rotate towards the ball.
Yeah.
You're never going to rotate into net and turn so you can defend the far post, because you just don't do that. You're thinking, all right, this is his most likely shot angle, and Chicago, perfect placement.
Having to stay aware of your teammates and where they have covered, especially in a situation like that where there is no way for you to challenge. You know the shot's coming, defend as much as you possibly can.
And you just saw your teammates double commit. So as far as you're concerned, you are it.
You are it. 100%. Such a difficult situation.
And it's tenths of a second to make those decisions. So you go with what feels natural, and you give up the back post, and Chicago will take it.
Hoxer, great read to keep this one on offense, but couldn't find the second touch. Now Ajax pass in. JNaps will break it up. As Roldiz tries, not quite able to make solid contact, but he gets to Hoxer, actually, and JNaps kind of caught in no man's land here underneath the ball. As Roldiz will play it to the side. Chicago over 2. Rolled is past him. Nobody in the backfield here. If they can just find the one-touch goal, it's not going to happen. Rizzo's got it away, and Rolled is tries, but the save comes through. Chicago's got it, and G2's back down the field. What a stop.
Oh, Birds, that feels so bad. You did everything right. You had the open net. You even pulled out the last guy, and just banger of a shot, but somehow pulled out.
Ajax tries to stop this from moving into his own half. And the clear will eventually come through, but JNAP's now up. Chicago to 1. Rizzo bops it. Rolled is now up looking for a shot. He's got it onto the backboard. It's fallen back down, but no teammates in position to sink it home. And now G2, the counterattack, onto the backboard. Up is Rizzo, off to the side. JNAP's looking for the shot. He's got it control, and a clear from Rolled is. Break up the action.
Well, nice cover up from Rizzo there. Chicago and JNAPs both split off to grab boost, and Rizzo understanding that, it's my job to make sure this doesn't get out of hand, and last second chance denied, but G2, 2 in a row.
Yep. It did get out of hand. We hit the 15 seconds. We still had 0 goals for Birds. Now, but does it 0-3 in favor of G2, and now 1 game away from cleaning up the series. Our second 4-game series of the day, possibly, but Birds can send us to a game 5.
So to be fair, I did spend a lot of this game talking about how good G2 were playing, and that's because they did play well. They were unequivocally the better team. 10 shots to 5, 3 goals, only having to make a couple of saves, and that is a bit of a disservice to the Birds, because those few chances they did get on offense, actually great transitions. The one that sticks in my mind was that Hoxer dribble up the right-hand side of the pitch.
Yeah.
Where he beat everybody, got it around the corner and into mid. It's like they have the capability to transition out of their own half and get chances on offense. It's just, unfortunately, G2 played some great defense this game, and especially at the end with that save that felt like a surefire goal.
Yeah, no, and that is the nature of the beast of RLCS, especially when you're playing against the big 3. Like, these teams, the thing is, we talked about this at the beginning of last season, remember, like, we don't call them the big 3 because they're always the best. We talk about the big 3 because somehow they always are the top 3. Somehow they always find a ways to win on the days when they're not playing the best. So even in the situations where they're not doing great, they still find ways to win. Birds is going to have to find a way to take a victory even on the days when things are just not quite working. And the few opportunities they're getting right now, G2 has been able to shut down. They've got to make the goals that they have the opportunities for work as we get into game 4.
And you just said it. G2, a member of the big 3, finds a way to win when they're not playing their best. They haven't been playing their best. Their defense has not looked anywhere close to clean. It's just they've still done just enough. Like, even right
what
there.
What are you talking about?
They got bumped out of position. They were out and somehow still able to make the save.
G2 holds on, a shot
and
from
back
midfield
the other
and
way.
The counterplay. That's the classic G2 stuff there as they take an early lead.
In Chicago, that's his 4th goal in a row now. Rizzo, just a light tip out to the middle and smashed. Goodbye ball.
I really don't even blame Birds for being up there. You have such an awesome opportunity with some people bumped, with some defense that doesn't seem to be rotating properly after kickoff. Let's just push the advantage, get a goal here where they've got to change something up as they got shut out there in game 3.
Haven't scored since the 2.5-minute mark in game 2. It has been a dry spell for the Birds.
So they now push out of their own half, a double commit on defense, but a really solid clear. Give G2 time to clear it up, and nobody home again. Hoxer will get there before Rizzo could hold him off. Now another dribble. Rizzo. Send a pitch to the side. Chicago's there. More neutral lateral play. Rolled his drops this one. JNAP's able to get in the way. Rizzo, an attempt here. Rolled is will hold on to this. He's going to try and beat JNAP's, but JNAP says not today. Takes it off of his hood. And Rizzo now advancing slowly but surely deeper and deeper into the blue.
That was a nice read from Rolled is there. To stop that shot attempt from Chicago. Rizzo, nice idea. Pass off the sidewall away from the defense and just rotating in from the midfield. Oldez realized he had to play. Another double commit from G2, but they still find the strong touch up the pitch.
So Rizzo tries to dribble us over one, gets it towards the box. Hoxer's got it back to the side, and Chicago knew that was where it was going. He's got the read already. And the defense from Birds having to hold on as they got 2 off that back wall. Chicago's there. They brought them all out. Every defense swung to the side as the ball moved that direction. A bump on the scoreboard, or on the backboard there, leaves it open. Chicago's got goal number 2.
Yeah, and Rolled is, he saw that ball get pushed up to the sidewall after his teammates double committed, and he knew he wasn't going to make it, so he tried to turn back into net, but unfortunately got pushed right back around off that top corner, and he couldn't make it back in time. Chicago was over there grabbing the boost.
5 goals straight for Chicago.
5 straight.
having a great day. Looks for goalies, doesn't find any. JNAP's now up. Rolled is in goal. Happy to take that one off him. Now Rizzo up. Lofted high. A little bit out of boost to look for the pass.
You want to know something funny about Chicago?
What's that?
He's picked up that mantle from last season where he's involved in every goal except one again.
It's a great stat to have.
It's amazing. It's just, I think there was maybe one series last season where he finally wasn't involved in everything but one.
He wasn't involved in two.
Yeah, I was like, what?
They find another one here.
Another one.
Yep, he was. This was the pass. The JNAPs to Chicago. The both passes. One that sets up the first pass. The second one breaks up the defense as everybody else is rotating back. Open net for Rizzo. 3-0.
And that's really the unfortunate thing there, because Hoxer was rotating back into the corner to grab the boost, and that happened. That flip started at the same time that challenge happened in the midfield. So he's still landing, and he can't readjust his path to get into the net to save the shot. Unfortunate.
Flips are an interesting thing because they are technically an unlimited resource when you're on the ground, but they do limit your ability to adjust it in a game of tenths of seconds. That's a big deal.
That one mattered.
Rolled is now looking for JNAPs, trying to create some space for Ajax, but he's not quite able to find him, and JNAPs successfully get that one. Ajax didn't really have enough control to where a bump would have mattered, I think, but it's still a good opportunity. I like the decision from Birds of being...
And he gives it back.
The passes, they tried the crazy plays. G2 not going to quite able to make it work.
And that was all in the name of beating the last man on the line to make the shot as easy as possible, but unfortunately G2 failed the execution.
Chicago tries to dribble this out. Hoxer's got it onto the backboard. It's dropping dangerous for G2, but they've got the saves. And now Chicago through one. Hoxer's got it up. Here comes Roldiz. Minute and 40 left to go, and Ajax with an opportunity. JNAPs just stands in the way. He says, you got to push the ball through me, and he can't do it.
Well, it was Roldiz actually getting in JNAP's way, trying to push him so he wouldn't be able to go and make that play, and he just couldn't wrap him up.
So over to the side. The Birds' favorite corner. Can they make it work? No contact from Ajax means a clear comes through, and JNAPs looks for the extension. Hoxer on the back wall finds the read and gets a great counter clear, but Chicago push it to the side. Now Chicago with lots of space here. Roldiz looked like he was challenging, maybe baits Chicago to go early there. Runs out of boost. He's not able to finish the play. JNAPs all gassed up. I'll move it back to midfield, and Ajax's touch not great. Chicago will look for his teammate upfield. Roldiz not going to be in a great position either.
Smart.
Chicago able to put it all the way in. That's 4-0. Chicago continues his streak.
So you think it's Chicago looking for the pass to JNAPs, but Roldiz actually worried he was going to get bumped there, so I think he might have panicked a little bit, misses the touch, and gives Chicago the open net.
58 seconds left. G2 looking to put this series away after a shaky game one. Ajax over to the side. The Birds, at this point, it's been
about 17 minutes since they scored.
17 minutes-ish. That's a lot of time. You want to find just any goal for morale's purposes at this point, I think. Just finding a way to prove yourself, hey, this is an opportunity to prove ourselves, to play against the best. Let's make the most of it we can, because we've got 6 more series to go in RLCS.
Well, this
will be one of the toughest competitions we have.
And there is a benefit to it. Ajax can, no!
Chicago in the way. What a play.
And there is a benefit, because yes, they did lose pretty handedly, but they were able to demonstrate, proof of concept. Their offense can have some bite to it, even against a team as strong as G2.
And also maybe some feels good of this. We're getting the hard stuff out of the way early on.
And they've only got one game this week, so it's not like they have to get demolished here and come right back out onto the pitch later.
We'll see as the time has expired. It's just a matter of formality here as G2 will take Game 4 in the series along with it. Quite the victory. While Game 1 gave us some questions, the rest of the series proved that that's correct. Yes. G2 still looking like one of the best offenses in the world.
Yes. Start strong for the Birds, capitalized on some uncharacteristic mishaps from G2, and then it was